Hello, Anne-Marie here, positivity clinical hypnotherapist and life coach, positivity life coach and founder of FLOW. And this is the webinar, except that it's a Facebook Live, that just delves a little bit deeper into what we're going to be learning on the FLOW Masterclass, which I'm actually really excited about. There are 3 weeks to go until we spend a whole day together, really going into a personal exploration of where you are now, where you've come from, and definitely where you want to be going, and giving you the tools and strategies and the mindset to be able to do that competently, confidently, and with a view to succeeding in whichever area you choose to focus on during the masterclass. And I thought I'd just give you an overview of some of the principles that we would be exploring and learning about, because for those of you that have never heard of the term flow, what is flow? It's a state of being, and it really is about being in the present moment. And in order for you to stay in the present moment, there are some principles that I encourage you to adopt, so that it will make that transition into feeling your best, living your best life all of the time. It will make that transition a whole lot easier. It takes practice. It is a challenge, but it is more than achievable, and anything that is worth having is worth putting that little bit of time and investment into. So here are some of the principles. Firstly, it really is about learning to stay in your own path and staying focused on what it is you want to achieve in your life. We all get dragged away sometimes to, we look at other people and they might be going past us, and we feel that we are getting left behind, and then we might take our eye off of what we're focusing on and start looking in their direction. And as soon as you do that, you're out of alignment with what you want to do for yourself. So I teach you how to stay focused on what it is you want, and just to keep in alignment with that, and not to be distracted by other people's journeys, because they're not your journeys. What you focus on is what you will succeed in. We'll also do some exercises about how you can better empower yourself to stop comparing yourself to others, to stop looking and thinking, why are they able to achieve so much more than I? And really, it is about you understanding, who are you becoming? What is it that you want for yourself? What are your values and your beliefs? And not because they won't be the same as anybody else's. And in order for you to achieve what it is that you want, that makes you happy, your personal fulfillment, then you need to know who you are becoming and focus on developing those personal traits rather than thinking about somebody else's. I'll also be, and this principle I think has been personally for me transformational, and it really is about being grateful for what you have now, and getting in that mindset of where you start to use everything that you have. If you have it, you have it for a reason. It's not there to be saved for a rainy day or for best. You know, best is every day, best is now, best is you. And you really step into living in the present and looking at your life and the things that you have in the present and using them accordingly. And that actually takes some practice as well. It's also about understanding what like attracts like. That's a big principle that we learn, and that you can see in the past how that has manifested the life that you have today, who you are today. And just a quick example of that would be, have a look at the 5 closest friends that you have around you now. Do they live the life that you aspire to live? Do they have the same principles that you would aspire to have? Are they achieving the things that you'd like to achieve? Do they talk in the way that you would want to be talking? And do they dress in the way and carry themselves that you would want to be dressing and carrying yourselves? And if they do, that's absolutely fantastic. If they're not quite who you would like to be aligning yourself to, then how do you create that shift where you move and start attracting the people that you would like to think reflect who you would like to be or who you are becoming? It's also about empowering you to start chasing the right things on autopilot. Again, this is about, you know, falling out of alignment and looking at what other people have and chasing the material things that they have, because inside maybe that you feel that because they have those things, it represents a certain things. But, you know, none of us know what goes on behind closed doors. And even though those aesthetic things may look like that person is living the perfect life, is that actually a truth, or is that just what we are seeing? So it's about, what do you need for your personal fulfillment that makes you happy, that is useful to you, and not what you feel that you should have because somebody else has it that you would like to be like, if that makes sense. I hope it does. This one is huge. I take you through some exercises where you can look over your life and see where situations have arisen, where there's been some unhappiness built up with certain relationships that you've had, and maybe they've become so bad, those relationships, that you've actually had to let those relationships go, but it wasn't necessarily what you wanted, and it's got to a point now where you feel that gap between you and that person has got so great that you can't go back and fix it. Well, you can. It is about practicing forgiveness, and I can show you a way that will release so much from you. You'll feel that relief. You'll feel your body just responding to that, not having to hold on to that pain any longer. And I have to tell you, it's an amazing feeling, and it will move you forward in such ways that you will start to see it has a knock-on effect to other relationships that you have, and you'll find people step into you in a way that they've never stepped to you before, because you've become open to forgiving others and inviting in new relationships that may possibly not have been able to, because you've had this mindset of where you haven't been able to get over certain things, and I enable you and help you to be able to get over those things, and perhaps rebuild those relationships again, but in a way that is is right for you on your terms. Another really powerful principle is learning how to give yourself self-love every single day. How do you do that? How do you focus on that? How do you build that into your life without feeling very conspicuous, very odd, or just that you're constantly having to think about what you say and do? There are easier ways of doing it. There are little habits that you can adopt over time that will give you and show you that how you view yourself is how the rest of the world will treat you. And it really does work. It really does. When you know, the world is waiting to see how and what you will accept. And when the world sees that, you will notice that if you treat yourself better, other people will treat yourself better too, really. It's about understanding yourself. Another one is to create a magic circle around you. I spoke about the 5 people in your life that are really significant to you, and that are they the right circle for you, and if not, how you can start attracting a circle that really benefits you, that really inspires you and raises you and encourages you to be more, just to be more. I know, we all know, you are enough, and in order for you to know you are enough on a daily basis, then you need to have people around you that reflect that, and that will in turn raise your levels of self-esteem. So it's really important that you have that circle that reflects the quality of the person that you are. And most importantly, this masterclass really is about you recognizing your purpose, recognizing why you're here. Have you ever asked yourself that question? Actually, what is my goal here? Have you ever set goals before? Have you seen what happens when you set goals, not just in business or in work, but when you actually start planning a future that you want, the life that you want, the life that you may have looked at other people and thought, oh, I wish I could be like that. You can have that too. It just takes planning. But in order for you to plan for what you want, you need to know what it is you want. That makes sense, I know. But so many people go through life accepting what happens to them and dealing with life as it comes to them, instead of actually taking a step back and saying, right, but actually this is the life that I want, and I'm going to plan for this life and create this life that I want. Excuse me, my voice is going a little bit. But that's what we do together. We plan the life so that in 5 years' time, and I really do say to you, it is even less than 5 years. If you think of what you achieved last year, what did you achieve last year? If you can imagine that doubled by 5 times, imagine what you can achieve in a week just by changing your mind about certain things today. What you can change in a week, you've got 52 of them in a year. You can make some massive changes, incomprehensible to where you are today. Your life could be so different, 360 degrees different in every single area, in your relationships, in your personal development, in your career, in your finances. You can change everything within a year beyond recognizable, and that is a real truth. Sorry, I've got a shadow on me. It's because it's in the cool of the evening, and this is all accessible to you as soon as you decide, that's what I want. I speak to so many people on a daily basis that are stuck in a situation which they feel is beyond their comprehension to change. They feel is out of their hands. They're waiting for something to happen for them so that they can change. And I have to tell them, there is only one person coming to save you. And when you sit down this evening and take your makeup off or do whatever you're going to do before you go to your bed and look in the mirror, that person is you. And you are more than capable. You have everything within you to change what you want. You really do. And this masterclass is about giving you those tools so that it's not just about what you're going to do on the day. What you're going to do on the day is going to be super powerful, but it's about what you're going to be doing from there on after. You're going to be building yourself. You're going to be creating this person who you want to step into. And it's not as hard as you think. It's just about focused intention and being purposeful. And we are going to learn all of that on the day. You'll actually feel a shift on that day. I can assure you of that. But it's about what your takeaway, because there is a workbook as well, so I don't expect you to remember everything. And also, obviously, there's the book that I've written called FLOW Happiness Now, the path on the path of least resistance. And it is what it says, you know, it's ways to overcome adversity and leave negativity behind and never have to deal with it again, because everything that you have experienced in your life up until now, if you look back and you do notice, these are things that have been repeated to you quite a few times. It might be the same person that you're meeting. Obviously, they have a different body and they have a different name, but they present themselves with the same problems. And if you're finding that you're coming across the same issues, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's your weight, whatever it is that is your bugbear, it's because you haven't dealt with it. And if you deal with it, it's only once. And I was saying to a friend the other day, I don't understand how people can go through continuous pain of the same subject when they only have to deal with it once. And it's gone. It's just about seeing it right through to the other side. And we are going to do that for so many different areas. And once you've learned how to do it for one area, it's all transferable, isn't it? You'll be able to do it with every area. And here on after, long after our workshop, our masterclass is finished, you'll be in control of your own destiny. How does that sound? Imagine that, being able to create the life that you want, the experiences that you want, the joy and the happiness that you want, you will be responsible for. Yeah, I know, it's a bit scary, isn't it? But you'll get used to it, and it's a fantastic way to live. And I can't wait for you to join me in this super happy life that I have. And I know that that can be yours too. And you may already have it in some degree, so you know what it feels like, but wouldn't it be wonderful to have that expanded every single day of the year, 365 days of the year, your happiness on your terms, your joy. I can't wait. I'll see you then.